Jambo and welcome to No Work Session, where I have guests come here and we try to find out if they have a life outside work. Today's guest is Cla Mund. Nice to meet you. We haven't met before. I always usually see you on spaces on Twitter. And I'm always curious about how moderation is when you're not in the room. So it's nice to see you in person, and I'm going to ask you that I'm asking you now. How is that?
Yes, thank you for having me, Lillian. It's good to meet you in person as well.
Karibu.
So yes, moderation in person versus online. Actually, moderating in person is more difficult than it is online, because online, you don't have an audience. You have the leg room to wiggle a little bit. But in person, there are so many dynamics. You're trying to control one person, the other person, someone doesn't want to stop speaking. I know you've had those. The story is going on and on. But online is a lot easier than in person, and it's fun. But I like both of them, in person and online, because there's a vibe when you're with people, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you were to choose?
Actually, in person, just because of the vibing, the networking that you can have afterwards. So when you're in person, you've had the conversation, then later on you can pick up something. But then when it's online, it's a bit, that's it. The conversation has ended.
It's not as connected
Yes,
also. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Interesting. Who is Cla? Who is Cla Mund?
Yes, Cla Mund.
Just describe yourself in wherever you want to describe yourself.
Thank you.
No limits.
No limits.
Yeah.
Well, Cla Mund is a mom of two. I'm also an author. I am a communications professional. As you mentioned, I do moderating, I do emceeing, and a number of other things. And I'm also a navigator of the life and the human condition as it is. So the highs, the lows, I experience it all, and I'm always pursuing good vibes whenever I can.
I love that. Going back to moderation, is this something you studied or probably just came as part of your work, or probably by chance?
It actually came by chance because my educational background is actually in finance. And many people find that very interesting because I ended up in the world of journalism and communication. So basically, I studied finance both at the bachelor's level and master's level. But then when I got into the newsroom, how it happened is that an editor, I used to write an article, a column on one of the dailies. And then the editor in finance. So it was breaking down business concepts. So now the editor at that time told me, you know what? You have a background in finance, and for some people, breaking down business concepts is a little bit difficult. That time, before we had AI that can break down a financial statement, it was a bit complex. So you went to journalism school, but if you're in the business desk, you don't understand some of these things. So he told me, you know what, why don't you consider getting into the newsroom and see if you like it. If you don't like it, go back. So I said, okay, I enjoy writing. I've always enjoyed writing. And even when I was choosing my course, I thought journalism or finance, but I just ended up with finance. Because, that time they're like, finance is more, serious, lucrative.
More prestigious.
Exactly. So I ended up there. Then I thought, okay, let me give this newsroom a chance. So I got in, I started doing business editing, and I think 15 years later, I'm still in the newsroom. Yeah. But I think it's a good merging because I use some of my skills from business and use it with the journalism and writing, and it just blends all together. Yeah.
Interesting. When you talk about finance, I remember probably when you're doing your first degree and then you have accounting. Then you've not encountered this before. And then the lecturer, of course, you know what he's talking about. I remember our lecturer used to tell us, this one, debit, credit. And you're wondering, how did you arrive at that?
I know.
So I think even today, when I hear somebody's in finance, accounting, I'm like, that's good. Like, it's nice. It's admirable,
Yeah. Accounting classes. I didn't enjoy them that much. Hey, it was those ones of like, okay, you just need to get through with this.
Yeah.
The finance classes were better. The economics.
A bit better, yeah.
Yes, but accounting. Even when I think of it, I'm like, I just wanted to get through with those units and let's go to something else. Because, the debits, the credits, it becomes too much. It's like, okay, it's a lot of maths, but it's just part of education. There are those units you don't like. You just have to get through with them. Yeah. But you like the degree as a whole, then you just move with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting when we hear they're taking maths out of the curriculum. Which is so wild because math is at the core of everything. Maths is at the core of everything.
Yeah, and that's interesting actually. And it brings me back to this CBE, the competency-based education, which CBC is part of it. And we're having a debate about that the other day, you know, because we are thinking of our kids. Okay, you know, a lot of parents these days are like, okay, am I going to take my kid through CBC? Do I need to go to the international curriculum? Because there's all these notions, some are misconceptions, some are true. So they're like, okay, at the heart of it, CBC is not a bad idea per se. It's the implementation which has an issue. So the thing is, competency. Everybody has their strengths, right? So why do we need to force you to learn all these things? You may not have the interest. You may not even be competent in them. So at the heart of it, we want you to take your competencies, your skills, your talents, and focus on that and build on that. And not everyone has to be grouped, like we have to do biology, we have to do, So it's a bit of a, you know, quagmire because it's like, is it the implementation part? Is there some faultiness in this whole system? But yeah, I really believe that we need to focus on our area of strength and our area of skill, basically. Yeah.
So do you still write? You said you write... You write?
Yes, I still write. So now,
And are you still doing finance, or now it's just writing?
Now it's finance bit is now doing the maths in terms of being an author. So we'll get into that bit because you're an author as well, and you understand what I'm talking about. So right now I write. I still write. I'm in the digital world, so I write articles, but more in terms of commissioning writers, but every now and then I'll get a story that I'm interested in and I'll write. But other than that, then I have also authored a book, which really was a culmination of my own experiences in motherhood, that I felt, you know what, there are some things that I didn't know with my firstborn that I learned with my secondborn that I wanted people to know about. And there are also some questions that other moms started asking me, and I was like, hey, I thought this was obvious, but it's not that obvious. And so that's what really sparked my author journey. And actually, interestingly, this is my third book, but this is my first published book. You know, the way you say you write your book and then it gathers dust. And I say, you know, 2025, we're not doing that anymore. We're just going to get this book out and get it moving.
Very
so,
nice. So you're in comms as well?
Yes.
What power comms?
So I am basically in the journalism from this other aspect. So I am communicating to the masses what these press releases that the PR people are sending us, we are breaking it down for the masses to understand. So if we're talking about SHA, anything that is current and relevant to you, we are breaking it down in a way that how does it affect you? Why should you care about this? If we're talking about, you know, the exam issues right now or lack of funding here, there. So I'm breaking down these things to the common masses. I don't like to say common, but to everybody, the everyday person. How does this affect you? How does it affect your life? So I'm on that other end of breaking it down and really debunking some of these PR statements and saying, okay, there's more to it than what we are being told.
How is that coming along? Is it being received well?
Well, it depends on which side you are. If you're on the accountability side where you are not being accountable, then you may have a problem with it. But if you're on the end of the everyday person, it's being received well because we are breaking down concepts that you didn't understand. Like right now, we're in the finance bill mode. Like people are just hearing that, okay, no new taxes, but have you really interrogated that document? So the people, everyday people, are appreciating it like, oh, okay, I didn't understand that part. It's being broken down.
That's so important,
Exactly. But then the ones who might not want all the information out may not appreciate it that much. So it depends on where you are. That depends, that will determine whether you appreciate it or not. Yeah.
Because I've seen you on Twitter X.
Yeah.
Do you usually have like in-person events?
Yes. So for X, they are the online audio conversations, but we have once in a while, we've done one so far, an in-person event where we bring people together and we were talking actually about the finance bill, but that was last year's. So we like to bring the conversation to the people because sometimes people are like, oh, we need more of this. We need to interact. They're always telling you like in person, there's that interaction that you don't quite get online. So we have done one of those events and we are looking to do more of that because we find there's so much more networking, more impact when people come together and discuss issues. So that's something that we'll do more and more of. But as you know, it takes quite a lot of work to put in-person events together. So balancing that is usually the challenge, but definitely we'll be doing more of those as time goes by. Yeah.
You said you have 2 kids. How old are the kids?
Yes, 3.4 and 1.3.
Ah,
Yes, when
nice,
people
nice.
say point, you have to put point because it's
Yeah.
not just 3, it's not just
yeah,
1.
For me as well. Mine is 3.10 now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, 3.10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
2.10.
2.10. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
It's not 3 yet.
Yeah,
So,
not yet,
yeah.
yeah.
So we have to put the point.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm always so curious about people who work the 8 to 5. How are you able to balance the two? Or somebody was saying it's not work balance, it's life balance. Like how do you find a balance?
Yeah, it's not life balance. It's work-life integration. It's work-life harmony. It's really prioritizing. You know, when you become a parent, whether it's a mom or a dad, but more so a mom, you have to prioritize and be like, this is the time I'm doing this. If it's not done, we move on to the next. And it's that thing of the rubber balls versus the glass balls. You've heard of that analogy. So sometimes you always make sure that you're not falling the glass balls, because once they've fallen, that's that. And your children are glass balls. So sometimes you might have to reschedule a meeting, okay?
Yeah.
Because my kids matter. Because my kids, I have to go for their prize giving day. I need to do this and that. So juggling is not quite easy, but then that's where delegation becomes important. If you are somebody who likes, being in control of a process, so you like to see things from start to end, you need to start understanding, okay, what are the critical parts? Whether you run a business, okay, let me focus on the critical parts and let other people do other things. And then what are the things that I really don't need to do, honestly. You have to be really good at managing your time or you'll get overwhelmed and your mental wellness will just suffer. So balance is about having support system. And support system these days is different. We say it takes a village to raise a child. So that village depends on where you are at life. We have our family and relatives, but not everybody has their mom and dad next to them. You have the paid village, which is your nanny. So your nanny has to be your best friend, honestly. Like, you need to get a nanny who understands you, how you operate, communicate to them what you need, because they're really going to support you. If you have a bad nanny, the other parts are going to suffer because you're always thinking, is my kid safe? Is my kid, you want to be able to go to work or your business and breathe. I'm here. I don't have to keep on looking at nanny cameras, and all kinds of things. So I feel a nanny is a very important part of your support system. Then your family, if you have them, and some relatives, but you always have to communicate. Because sometimes I find people say, I'm not getting support, but did you say what support you need? Don't assume people should know what you need. You know what you need, communicate it. Then if you don't get it, then you'll say, okay, I'm not getting the support. But that is something I've really, really realized people are not good at. Communicate.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah.
Don't expect me to know I'm a mom, I should do this.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah. Interesting. When you talk about nannies, it's just a complex conversation because getting a good nanny is so hard. And when you have young kids, and you have to go to work, I can just imagine probably the mental torture. Yeah, I'm lucky that I'm raising my boy myself, no nanny, just day bags. So I can just imagine what mothers go through when you have to leave the baby at home.
Yeah.
Unaangalia 2 cameras all the
All the
time,
You're not even concentrating at work.
And I saw a video about a mother who was saying she was in the US and she was saying how she has to go back to work. And she had twins, very young babies, probably a few weeks. And then in the post they showed how in the West, like Europe, they have many weeks paternity leave.
Yes.
You have 46 weeks.
Yes, 9 months.
But it's just so unfair that something that is so natural as you have to stop doing it and go back to work. I think it's brutal.
It is.
And I always pray that mothers are able to just work around that and find a way of, being able to give whatever, even if it's been taken away, to give as much to their kids.
Exactly. Yeah, it's brutal because, you think like in Kenya, it's 3 months generally. There are good companies that have up to 6 months, but generally in law, it's 90 days, right? So, it's such a journey because now when you think my maternity leave is almost ending, even your milk supply goes down because you're stressed.
Anxiety, I can imagine.
You're stressed.
Yeah.
So you need that support and you need a good nanny. And you said you don't have Hey, yeah, that day bag issue is a whole other thing. Because even me, I have a day bag. She's my nanny and she's a day bag, but I don't want to get a live-in simply because she's so good. She's so good, but she has children, so she can't live with us. So I'm like, sometimes I'm like, you have a late work assignment, now you have to go and get your family.
Yes,
but she's so good. And when you hear the horror stories, you're like, me, I don't want to go and start experimenting. And how have you balanced it as well?
I find a way.
You find
a way. But what I did, I used to work, last year I was working somewhere, then I had to resign. It was a remote job, a very nice remote job, but I had to resign because I'm always in meetings, I'm writing all these things, and I figured my baby is growing, he needs me more. So I would have meetings where he's here, then of course it's not proper. It's not wrong, but then again, you want to be fully present in the meeting.
I know.
You want to be there for your employer, so I had to resign. So this year I'm taking it very, very easy until he goes to school, and then now probably I can now start working. But size is just me and him, kabisa.
And they say it's the foundation and the finishing. So the foundation stage is so important. Then when they're transitioning to that 18, so you really want to be there during those critical years.
Now you're in finance. Growing up, nobody ever spoke to me about money. And I think now that you're in that area, I think your kids already have an advantage because you're going to teach them these things. I saw somebody saying how they have their kids do small chores here and there, and then you give them money. Then when they see probably like a watch they want to buy, you tell them, do you have money? Have you saved up enough money? Exactly. So if your piggy bank is empty, you have to do a few more, like hard chores, not so like hard labor or anything.
No child labor.
Not child labor, but just simple things, just to teach them that culture of this reward in just working and, being independent and, all that. So I think probably that should be taught in schools as well, because it's really cool too. We learned how to manage our money when you are big. You've misused money. You don't know how to make money. Even now we are still trying to figure out about this money thing. So your kids, do you think you teach them how to manage money, the concept of money, just the whole thing about money?
Absolutely. And when you say we didn't grow up learning about money until later in our adulthood, I've read somewhere, that was by design. It's, they ask, why isn't it taught in schools? They say it's by design because there's a whole system that wants you to go, get a job, work till you are finished, and never really understand what wealth is. So there's that whole theory that it's by design. I don't know if that's the truth, but anyway.
It could be by design, but then probably also lack of knowledge. And there's who cares? Like you're 5, why do you need to learn about money? Just learn 1 plus 1 mathematics and all that. Theorem. All things that we don't even apply now. So I think learning those skills like money, managing money, public speaking, communications are so important. And I think our kids now, they have the opportunity to grow up with something that we never grew up with.
Absolutely, Like even with my daughter, when we go to church, she knows she has that money that they call it Jesus money. So when they're going for Sunday school, I have my Jesus money. And that is from what she has accumulated. So when you go and do your things, you put your clothes in the dirty clothes rack, you get something, you get a reward. So where's your Jesus money? You don't want to go to Sunday school without your Jesus money. You want a reward, you want to buy that lollipop. You're going to get money if you tidy up. Go and put your shoes where they're supposed to be. Don't just come into the house and throw them anywhere. So it's learning that responsibility. She doesn't fully obviously understand the concept of money, but she knows that if I behave well, there is some good reward that comes out of it. So I think it's important to start helping them understand this slowly where they're at. You
are in the media space, but I feel like everything is going out to the digital world. How is that working out for you guys? The Gazzetti, all this. I don't know the last time I sat and watched TV news. It's been so many years because I get everything from, X and, just online.
Yes.
How is that? And how is it going to evolve? What's the future of that?
It's really evolving because even me, I started at print when I was writing that column. Then I now moved to digital. So yes, people are not really watching TV at specific hours anymore. It's on demand, really. So I feel that there's a shift towards digital, and really people have to catch that boat before they become, irrelevant. So right now it's more about giving people things on demand and specific things. So you're not interested in every news item, for example. Maybe you're interested in business, maybe you're interested in sports. So it's curating the content that is relevant to different target audiences so that they can get it when they want it, and they don't have to start like, okay, what time does my content come? So it's really being where people are on their mobile phone, making sure that content is also short and punchy, because also people's attention spans, it's
Very
not
short.
yes, it's not just a Gen Z
Yeah,
thing. I think
yeah.
it's even millennials and even beyond. You can only sit down to watch or listen to something for a certain amount of time, unless it's, you're really trying to get a concept. So keeping it short, compact, meeting people where they are, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
And you really need to move with the times. Of course, publications, newspapers are not going to die completely, but it might stay in like niche categories where like, okay, it's business news that we need, it's sports news, but at a much lesser scale. So we need to really embrace that digital and move with it.
Yeah. Interesting. Now, you said you are an author.
Yeah.
I have your book here.
Yeah.
It's called Bounce Back, Babe.
Yes.
Here is the book. For those who have not bought the book,
Yeah.
please buy the book. I like the color.
Thank you. It's
Purple.
matching. It's matching. Yes, no work.
Good colors, royalty,
Exactly.
Now, why the name Bounce Back, Babe?
Yeah, so Bounce Back Babe is because we want you as a woman to bounce back in a good way. And I like to put this out there first, because there's that thing of snapback. We're not talking about snapback. There's the snapback, there's the bounce back. Now, bouncing back is 360. There are three elements that I feel are very critical in a woman's and even man's life, really. Your finances, your mental wellness, and your fitness. So Bounce Back Babe is just bouncing back to who you are, and even bouncing back better than you are.
Yeah.
After getting a baby. So I find that sometimes women start to find out, oh my goodness, I hadn't prepared myself fully for this journey that is pregnancy and motherhood after the fact. So Bounce Back Baby is taking you from pre-conception to pregnancy to postpartum. And now I cover the first year postpartum. So how do you set yourself up for success throughout that journey? Of course, we have oops moments and stuff like that. But if you can plan your life somehow, all things constant, of course, because we cannot determine some here and there. But if you can plan things, and it makes the whole journey of bouncing back a lot easier, whether it's in your fitness, whether it's in your money, whether it's in your mental wellness. You don't want to get shocked. You get into postpartum depression, your finances, you're wondering, oh my goodness, mtoi is expensive. You hear that, but you don't understand until you've gone through it.
Yeah.
So instead of waiting to be shocked, how can you start planning your life as far as is possible to give yourself and your children the best future that they can have? Yes.
Why did you decide to write the book?
Because it was out of experience. So first of all, the bounce back element started first from an element of, after having children, people are like, you've bounced back quickly. And this was the physical element initially. So I was like, okay. So they would ask, okay, so what did you do? What, I'm struggling here and there. So I started giving tips here and there. And I saw things that I thought were common knowledge were not necessarily common knowledge.
Yeah.
So I started from that aspect. Then I realized the financial element. Some people don't understand some concepts. That we talk about education policies, we talk about, sinking fund, things like that. For some people, it was like, I've never thought of that. And I thought, because of my finance background, I'm assuming this is common knowledge
Obvious,
for everyone.
Yeah.
So I thought, let me put this back together. Then I'm in a couple of moms groups and I would realize the mental wellness was also really suffering. So I also thought I have to put that mental wellness together, because sometimes women don't even understand, am I having blues or is this postpartum depression and I'm totally unaware that I'm going through it? So I found that I really needed to put those three elements together to help moms. Yeah.
I see part one is about pre-conception, but I think most pregnancies are never planned. You just miss your period, and then you're like, oh my God, I'm 6 weeks in. But I think it would be so nice to like plan, you know. But of course, God is in control of everything.
Exactly.
But it would be so nice to just plan everything. It would make everything easier.
Yeah.
But then again, are we ever ready?
Yeah, yeah. Are we ever ready? We may not be 100% ready, but we can be like 70% ready if we put
Prepared a bit.
Yes.
We do like sauti, so they say mtoto anakuja na sahani yake.
Yes, but the sahani is empty. That's what they don't tell you. They tell you
That's
sahani,
true.
it's empty.
Yes,
If you
yes,
just
yes.
go there with your sahani and you'll be broke. And your kids will say, hey, it's empty. It needs to be filled by planning.
True. I think probably from that section, you spoke about how to pick your doctor. Because that is so important.
Yeah.
You know, when I got pregnant, you know, I didn't know I was pregnant until 8 weeks in.
You didn't get nausea?
You know, 0.
Hey,
You
lucky
know?
you.
And I was 100% sure I wasn't pregnant.
What?
When I went in and the doctor told me, yeah, we're 8 weeks in. So, you know, you're starting on the supplements,
Yes.
the anxiety, the excitement,
Yes.
the, oh my God, what am I going to do? I hadn't planned for this.
Yes.
But talk about how you choose your doctor, a good doctor, considering there are so many quack doctors. And you've seen cases before where doctors ruin you instead of going through the journey with you.
Yes. The doctor is so important. It's going to determine whether you're going to have a good experience or you're just going to be frustrated. So you must shop. And recommendations are good, but you know, every woman has a different experience, different needs. So when you get a recommendation, ask for recommendations. Who was your doctor? Did you like your gyna or BGYN? If they did like that one, go and visit. But then that doesn't mean you'll automatically gel. So what does a good OBGYN look like? It's somebody who you go there, you're maybe experiencing symptoms, they're not dismissing you like, you know, we have a long line, like, let's get on with it. They are actually present. You need to be present.
And not using their phone when you're talking to them.
Exactly. Like, why are you doing that? So present. So are you the kind of person I can call at midnight, like, oh my goodness, maybe someone was spotting. Is it normal? Is it, or it's those ones like, they'll never even pick my call. They'll never even look at my text. So it's somebody who is present and somebody you know that you can call in the middle of the night. Is this Braxton Hicks or I'm actually almost getting to active labor? So present and somebody who you can actually call and not fear. You know, there are people you're like, will they even call? Will they even pick up my call? So that is essential. And then now, of course, the cost element starts coming into play. But not all good doctors are necessarily expensive. Yeah. So it's good. I always advocate, if you can, get a personal doctor instead of going to the hospital and then seeing whoever is there all the time. Because they know your history.
Yes.
So get a personal doctor if you can. And that's where health insurance is helpful if you can. But if you can, please just take it. It's a very critical journey and you don't want to, you know, try, hit and miss. Get a good doctor present and somebody you can call or text and they will be responsive and not be like, you're two other mothers. No, I'm not other mothers. I'm this mother. Yes.
But I think if you are to get pregnant when you're young, the uncertainty, the fear, and the cost also, you don't know how to go to these high-end doctors, if I can call them that. So you end up going to a regular doctor, whoever is there atakuona too. And then when you have a complication, they're not able to catch it because they're not keen. They're not they don't know your story. Just like one person unapitia tu haraka.
Exactly. So I
think the education would be to teach the girls, if you were to get pregnant when you're young and you're keeping the baby, how do you find a good doctor?
Yes, exactly.
Cost matters, but then again, si lazima, because you have good doctors who are very affordable and accessible.
Very true.
So I think there's a lot of awareness that needs to be done around that.
Exactly. And you don't have to go to tier 1 hospitals. You can go to these tier 2, 3 and get those good OBGYNs that you're talking about. So yes, it's not necessarily going to the highest level, because even some of those tier 1, you'll find people who are just unbothered. So
True. You also now, from preconception, you talk about pregnancy. That's like the whole thing, eh?
Yes.
Tell me what you wrote in your book. I don't want to preempt everything. Tell me what you captured in the pregnancy part.
Yeah,
It's so interesting.
Yeah, so pregnancy now is a whole other roller coaster. Some people like you, as you're saying, you didn't get nausea. That's good for you, but it can have its ups and downs. Like me, I got nausea like from week 7. It just kicked in,
Yeah.
and it was not morning sickness. That's a misnomer. It's all day sickness, like all day.
Oh, no.
You're just feeling off
Yeah.
all day,
Yeah.
and you just don't want to get out of bed. Everything is not working, and mine took until like towards the mid of the second trimester. So it was like,
Oh, my.
so
Yeah.
I talk about like support. Who is your support system? So we are all in different family situations. So some people are married, some people have a partner, some people do not have a partner. But within your circles, who can you trust? It could be a sister, it could be your mom, but you need somebody to walk this journey with you, because it can get very overwhelming during that critical stage. So for pregnancy, I talk about the fitness element. So when you're nauseated, you don't feel like working out, but it's really good to keep fit or keep active throughout your whole process, so that you can even recover faster. So they talk about 150 minutes of exercise throughout the every week. So that can be as simple as walking. So walk. You don't have to go to the gym. And I always say, we're talking about costs. Everybody is at a different place. You don't have to sign up to a gym. You can walk. Take the stage before where you need to go. Walk that distance. Have your sports shoes with you wherever you are. Walk. Because that actually makes the recovery a lot faster when you give birth.
True.
Then there's the mental wellness. I always talk about journaling. Whether you're expecting or whether you're just in your normal phase, journaling is very powerful. Putting your thoughts together on paper, whether you're traditionally writing or you're on your mobile, whatever, just write your thoughts, because some time later down the line, you'll go through and you're like, what?
Yes.
What? That was me?
Yeah.
So it's always good to journal. It
Yeah.
makes you also, it's a release. So always journal your thoughts, where you're at, what you feel like, and all those kind of things. And just meditate, whatever meditation looks like for you. Find time to have fun. I know you're in the gutter because nausea is not fun, but just find ways to do things that you enjoy. And then I always tell moms, you don't have to be this is a strict diet. Your hormones are just not cooperating. So if you want to eat fried chicken, you do that. Because sometimes some people have cravings, some people have aversions. Me, I had aversions. So I didn't have cravings, but I couldn't eat anything. So whatever could stay in my stomach, that's what I took. And that was wheat. Wheat and fried chicken. So don't be too like, oh, I don't want to gain how many kgs, so I have to. If the body is not agreeing, do what you need to do. Keep active. You will deal with it a bit later. So I always advocate for that. Me, I gained 18 kg.
Okay.
Yeah, for both my pregnancies. But keeping active helps. So just obey your body during that time. And then finances. Women. please get your finances in order. We know it takes two to tango, right? So you're not making this baby by yourself, but I always advocate for women to be financially well. That means get your money in order, get a sinking fund, get some money together for your child, because you want the best for your child. So yes, it's good. We would all like to be passenger princesses, baby girl life, but I always advocate, ladies, get your money in order, take care of your child. So do you have a sinking fund? Are you putting some money aside for your child? Even look at things like, what would education look like in X and Y school? It looks like it's ukombali, but planning is so important. So how much can I put aside every month? Hata kama it's 2,000, 5,000, wherever you're at, put some money aside and then now invest it as well. Because, saving and putting money in the bank is not helping your life. You want it to multiply. So start putting your money aside, and then you will think of other things like the education policies. That depends. Not everyone is an advocate for education policies, because, it's insurance plus savings. So it may not give you the biggest return, but put money aside for your child. Do something. Even if your husband or your partner is there, also you create a fund for your children. Yes.
When you speak about journaling, I remember the first time when I found out I was pregnant, I bought a book. And then I wrote, oh my God, I'm pregnant. I was 8 weeks, 2 days. And it was December 2nd, 2021. I remember clearly. So since then, I've always journaled. I write to my baby a lot.
Yes.
Kabisa. And I'll keep that book for him when he's old. What is this backwardness? Mbona hakunitumia emails and all that.
Yeah.
So it's important to always write down your thoughts. Sometimes when I'm bored, I go back and I say, wow, I was 5 months pregnant. I was feeling like this. He was 1 year, 1.7. And now we are 2.10. Like, it's so amazing to just go back and look through the journey.
Exactly.
And I think you get to appreciate more. Because now you're able to relate that and this.
Yes.
You're like, oh my God. And yesterday I ran. I'm back to running properly.
Oh, nice.
And yesterday I was running. I was doing speed work. And I thought, my body has become so light. And I thought, 2 years ago, 3 years, I was heavy with the baby. I couldn't do anything. Like, what is this fantastic machine that God gave us? We must take care of it.
Absolutely.
We must take care of it, So when you talk about journaling, meditation, mental health, it's so important. And of course, as a woman, I advocate the same thing you're advocating for. You must have your own money.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Even if you... I was watching a clip yesterday on IG, and somebody was being asked, what financial advice do you have? Somebody like, none, just marry rich. It was a joke, but it was like, marry rich, because we're very serious.
Yes.
Marry rich, that's the advice I have. But then, of course, you went to work and explain, you do all these things.
Yes.
But somebody watching, what is a sinking fund?
Okay.
Like, how do they understand that?
Yeah. Okay. I'll address the marry rich thing, but let's talk about the sinking fund first. So sinking fund is money you put aside for a specific target. So let's say you want to go on holiday in December, wherever it is, and it costs X amount. So that X amount, you say that I'm starting from January until November, I'll be saving up towards that. So it's money you put aside for a specific thing. So you will, let's say, divide by 11 months. How much do I need to put in an account every month to make sure that by the time December reaches, I have that money together? So sinking fund is just basically money you put aside for a specific goal. So if it's for your children, let's say you want to buy a car seat, something as simple as a car seat, and you are 3 months pregnant and you have 6 months to go. How much is a car seat? I mean, it depends on the market. They're from 12,000 to, you've seen the 60,000, depends really. So how much are you putting aside? Divide it by the time that you have allocated to get that goal, then put that money aside until you reach that goal. Some people don't need to put sinking funds. If you're lucky and you just have money, you just go and shop. The ones who are marry rich. But for the rest of us who actually have to put aside that amount, it's being deliberate about putting a certain amount every so often, whether it's monthly, whether it's quarterly, to achieve a certain goal. Then that issue of the marrying rich, okay, that's your philosophy. It's true, and I also address that in the book, that whoever you marry or partner with is going to determine whether you progress or you don't. Because you can be doing all this hard work, but if you have somebody who just spends, then it's negating. You get? So you also have to marry smart. I'd say marry smart, really. Okay? Because you can be doing the work. Hey, you've put your sinking fund, but the guy is just spending or betting all your life away. So be smart about who you're coupling up with, because you'll be erasing, negating all your efforts. So do your thing, get your finances in order, but also smart. Don't think so much heart. The heart is not smart. They say, the Bible says, above all things, it's deceitful, the heart. So think. I know it's easier said than done, but there's somebody who says, she's a psychologist, she says, if you feel butterflies, be wary.
Run away.
Run away, because it's like, I'm not thinking well, I'm just in the butterfly mood. So this is adulting, Aki. It's like adulting is just like doing difficult things. It's not about la la land. Those are some of the unpopular opinions I have, but adulting is some hard decisions.
No,
it's not.
Because even they say the biggest decision you make in your life is who you marry. Yes, because they affect everything.
You just find some lazy person there, and you start becoming lazy because you spend most of your time with this person other than the people you're working with. You're spending time with. So if they have no goal, no vision, no nothing, my friend, where are you going?
Yeah.
Like,
You're doomed.
So you're doomed. Aki, you're doomed.
And
so
now you're putting your kids in that doom as
exactly,
well.
Exactly. They
Yeah.
see this guy just sits there. That's what your son is going to grow up thinking.
Yeah.
We can just sit there at home. So you need to be very deliberate about how you go about that. So that thing of like, you don't have to rush to get married. I think these days that thing is not there anymore. Is there that rush to like get married by a certain age? Not
really.
so.
Not really.
I find
Yeah.
millennials don't have that anymore. Even some are like, I don't need to get married. We can debate about that, but I don't think the pressure is there as much. So don't rush. Haraka haraka ina baraka. So take your time, think through things, because it's a long journey that can be painful if you're not smart about how you go about it.
True. When you talk about meditation, what does that mean for you?
Yeah, meditation to me is being present with my thoughts. You know, I'm currently reading a book called Hurry, the ruthless elimination of hurry. So he talks about, sometimes we have a to-do list. So I have to take my kids to school, I have to go to work, I have to do my 10,000 steps. You're not thinking consciously about it. So meditation is sitting with your thoughts and being present in your thoughts. So, okay, what am I thinking about? I'm thinking about, I have this project to do. Am I thinking through it like, do I even want to do this project? Or am I just like, I'm supposed to do this? So being present with your thoughts and thinking through them and thinking about the why. Why am I doing this? Am I just doing it because I think that's what's supposed to be done? Or am I doing it for the right reason? So your why, being present. And so many people are actually not present with things. You're just, okay, to do.
Yeah.
We wake up again to do rat race, and never really being present. And that even happens even with raising your children sometimes. You're just like, I'm supposed to drop them in school. When you're coming back, I'm picking them. You're not even listening. How was your day? You're not even listening out for cues. Was there anything happening in school that you should be paying attention to? You should be asking your teachers. So being present with your thoughts. Yeah, that's what meditation to me is.
Yeah, interesting. I think probably we all need to practice that to be more present.
Yeah.
Because you never get to miss out on anything. You're involved and immersed in life as it happens.
Yes.
What did I want to ask? I'm losing my train of thought. Nimesahau, but ndakumbuka. No, when you spoke about the to-do list, there's another side of that where you have a stop list. Like you make a list of things that you need to stop, you know?
Yes.
And I'm practicing that. I saw that last year somewhere. So I've been practicing, like, what do I stop doing? What do I stop? What do I stop? You know?
Yes.
Because to find, you know? So if you just slow down and just probably like introspect, what do I need to stop doing? You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
think
like
probably
that.
That way you end up even being more productive because you're not just
feeling your
existing
day.
and rushing through life, you know, because some things you do, they make no sense, they add no value.
No value at all. They're meaningless.
They're meaningless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like that stop list.
Yeah, stop list. What happens if you get a baby and you don't have a supportive partner?
Yeah, that is, it's difficult. It's really difficult because it takes two to tango, but sometimes some people are not present or they just don't understand. So that's where now that paid village, it's really important. Your nanny, who is there with you, you need to bank on that. Because sometimes you're like, change. You can't change people. You know, somebody needs to want to change. So sometimes if you don't have a supportive partner, where you're at, what can you do? So people around you, who can you list down the people around you? Who are the people who can come through for you? You get? You cannot ignore the nanny because that is the person, they are paid. They're supposed to take care of a child. You can have your mom, you can have your sisters and whatnot, but how often are they going to be able to be there for you? You get? If you have your sibling, your relative, you cannot expect them to come to your house and now start living with you. Okay, there are some people who have that. That's fine. But realistically, how long can you keep that up? So I always say, try and get a good nanny. Of course, it's not always easy. Sometimes you hit the jackpot. Yeah. Sometimes you just have horror after horror, but recommendations help. tell your nanny your needs. Remember I said communicate what you need.
Yeah.
Don't expect them to understand what you need immediately. Communicate, I need this, my child to be taken care of in these ways. Don't do this, don't do that. But I find the nannies are very important. Then get even online communities, because right now there are so many online communities, whether you're in the old school Facebook, whether WhatsApp, it's so critical. So other moms in your circle, whether you're employed or you're in business, talk to them. Are you in any WhatsApp group? Could you link me up? Could you help me to get onto a WhatsApp? And I've found those WhatsApp groups are so beneficial, because sometimes a mom will be going through something like, hey, my child is having a rash. Of course, they're not doctors. You always need to get advice, but I'm going through this and that. And another mom will help you, because there's nothing that beats experience. So make sure you don't isolate yourself. Isolation is the beginning of the end, because that's how you get into mental illness. That's how things just start not working. So as much as you might feel overwhelmed and you feel like, sometimes when something is not working, you're like, I don't want anyone around me. But that is the time you need to plug into real help, good people who can help you. So I always say, get the WhatsApp groups, get the Facebook groups, and connect with these people online. And then later that can even develop to friendships, because there's a lot of support if you reach out. So do that. Yeah.
I always feel like men need to be, is it educated on how to support us when you're pregnant? Because for them, it's something new. I mean, to us, but I think women, we just, it's in us to just adjust and, but men need probably to, is it learn or be taught on how to take care, not even like take care, but how to be around a pregnant woman. Because things have changed. So you can't be the same person.
You can't be the same, exactly. They do need to be educated.
Yeah, and I think that's where probably the conflict starts. Because now you feel, huyu mtu anisaidii.
Yeah.
But then again, they don't know how to help you.
They don't know. Yeah, that's why you need to communicate your needs. It's like, you feel like it's obvious. Can't you see, like, I'm struggling with this? But no, sometimes they are just as clueless as you are. So you need to tell them, this is what support looks like for me. If it's like giving me even time alone, if it's like you need to get me this and that, communicate what that support looks like for you, so that you can be on the same page. So have those discussions frequently, and don't just coast through life and wonder, oh, this person is unsupportive, but they don't quite understand. Because they're seeing you like, if you have that nosy, hey, this person looks a different person, we are walking on eggshells, like, let me not rock the boat. So let them know. Because sometimes it's actually out of fear, like, hey, if I say this, I might awaken the lion. So, so just communicate,
As much as we prepare for kids, I mean, if you were to follow that plan, I'm curious probably to want to find out, how should a man prepare for the same? Because at the end of the day, it's 50-50. We have to pick a baby together. How do you prepare as a man?
Yes, as a man, first financially. Don't just be seated there thinking that sahani is just going to come. So financially, take lead. Be that lead person in that relationship. So what are you doing? How have you set up that sinking fund for your child's life once they are here? Have you gone and checked out education policies, if that's what you want? Have you made sure that you're investing right? When it comes to your work times, have you started to think like, okay, these first couple of months, I might be needing to be there to support my partner in one way or another. So if you're the kind who is working outside the country all the time, or you are working until I don't know what hour, have you considered that for this period, I might have to reschedule my life to be supportive, to be physically present for my partner? So you need to think about that. So it's not always just saying that, okay, me, I'm making the money, I'm supporting the family through that. There's also the emotional support, and there's that physical support that is needed. So sometimes you might have to rejig your whole work life depending on how you work. Then, of course, the finances, get it in order. Be on top of things. Don't be hearing that there's something like education policies and investment, and you're like, hey, like, get a clue. Like, don't be clueless, honestly. Take charge. Take charge of your child's life.
But do you think the men we have now are doing that?
Some are. Some are not. Some are like, my goodness. This is a whole other topic. But
it is,
some just sign up for anything, and they end up even losing the little money that the family had. So it needs that financial literacy. Now you need to get a clue. Honestly, you need to go and talk to financial advisors, the right ones, not quacks, and find out, okay, this is what my family dynamic looks like. What are the steps that I need to start taking to ensure that I secure my child's future? Is it a life policy? Because, that's actually important. You don't know about tomorrow. They say that in Africa, you don't talk about death, but it will happen at one point, and it could happen sooner than you think. So what happens to your kids if something happens to you? You need to think about that life policy, that sinking fund. Don't just go with the flow, honestly. Those ones of God will just provide. God helps those who help themselves, my friend. Get with the program.
Yeah. Now, when kids come, most marriages don't survive. Why do you think that? And is it, as people say, money? Give yours and then I'll share my thoughts.
Okay. So it's
as one of the factors, of course, not everything. Yeah.
Money is one of the factors, but children come with a whole change in dynamics. And if you're not able to sustain that period, because it's a season, there's a roughish season, honestly. It's not always, oh, baby, so cute. Or one.
Yeah.
They can be a rough patch. So if there's a bit of impatience on both parts and that so-called hardness of the heart, then unasema, you know what, I don't need this, I'm gone. But a lot of changes. There's the physical changes. The mom is so tired, so sometimes other things suffer, not because you want, but there are so many dynamics. Now you're focusing on the child, and they say at the husband is the firstborn. What is that? You're not the firstborn. You're a grown person. I said I have unpopular opinions, but the dynamics change. Bringing a child into this life, sleep becomes a rumor sometimes. Your body becomes, you don't even understand what's going on. As your hormones get back to where they were, then that comes with also your own mental wellness. Sometimes you can snap and whatnot. And if you're not patient on both ends, both of you, you'll be like, you have no tolerance for each other. So it's not only money. It's the changes, the mental space that you're in at that point. And if you're not patient, sometimes it's a matter of patience. And some people don't have patience. It's like, I don't know who you are anymore. Like, I'm feeling we're not aligned. And it could be a season. But if you waited it out, it might have gone through. So I feel like the lack of patience, the changes in your lifestyle and everything come, and it can just bring a wedge. And then sometimes, that's why I talk about being present. You have to be deliberate. So let's say when the baby it's a newborn, date nights now, those ones become a rumor. And then some people now let it go on 3 years down the line. That became a rumor. Then they are like, how are you connecting?
Yeah.
So you have to be deliberate. There's the newborn stage. You may not be having all that time to focus on each other, but don't now let it become the routine. Now you don't even know each other. You don't have time to talk to each other. It's like a stranger. You're like, this person is moving on with their life. So you have to be deliberate. But it takes patience. Like the first newborn stage, patience. It's a new baby in the house. You're trying to understand what is parenting even. You did all this preparation, but what is this motherhood, fatherhood thing? So patience is a big thing. Finances, sometimes it's just other things that are creeping up, and now you use the finances as something to camouflage. But they are also a problem. Like if everyone has no money, the child, you're stressed, so now you can't express milk, so now you have to get naan. There's no money for naan. You're like, what do you do in this house? It becomes an escalated thing. But it's not only finances. Sometimes it's just that new space that people are impatient to really let themselves go through. Yeah. Your thoughts?
Interesting. No, I think if you're new parents, you want your partner to be as involved and to show up the way you want them to show up. Now, for the first 6 months, you're breastfeeding exclusively. There's nothing much this man can do for you. This child is not eating. They're just breastfeeding. You have to breastfeed them. Alafu analala.
Yeah.
So you as a woman, you feel like, nimechoka, I need to sleep. So now you're angry with your partner.
Yes.
But there's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do.
Yeah.
Can probably give you the baby milk with whatever, but
The formula.
there's nothing much he can do.
Yeah.
So I think if we approach that season, that stage with 6 months were just, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You know, like you want to lose your mind.
Yes.
Huh? But then like, it became easier because now the baby was feeding anybody,
Yeah.
everybody can feed him.
Exactly.
But the first 6 months, I had to tell myself, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
It is mimi kabisa,
It's you.
kabisa. My partner is there, my husband is there, but
Yeah. It's
kazi
on
kwangu.
you.
You understand?
Exactly.
Then it became easier.
Yeah.
You're not angry, you don't develop resentment.
Resentment. You're just
Because
sleeping
you're like,
there.
"Mbona umelala wewe?"
You're sleeping. You're okay, very okay sleeping
how
there.
dare you sleep?
I know it's hard.
Yeah. You talk about mental health, huh?
Yeah.
And I think over time, I struggle sometimes to understand what that means because maybe it's been thrown around so much and so often in every setup, mental health. So when it comes to this motherhood thing, how do you describe that?
For me, mental health in motherhood is, are you feeling okay? Are you feeling happy about the space that you're in as a mother right now? So, okay, you're in the newborn stage. Do you understand that your body has changed and it's going to take a while to get back there? Are you accepting of that, or are you now resentful and you feel like if it were not for this child, then I would not be experiencing that? So are you content? Mental health to me in motherhood is, are you content at the stage you're in, or are you feeling like you've lost out on something, or things could be better if there were a different way? Yeah.
You talk about the snapback or bounce back babe. Before I got the baby, I was at my fittest. I ran. So I used to just wake up on a Sunday and do a 21K, just a random run. When I got the baby, I was like, kwani, just a few weeks and then I'll be back. I couldn't get back into that. I couldn't. Until now this year, January, I said, my baby is now turning 3 in July. I cannot be this way anymore. I used to run kidogo the past 2 years, but now I'm back to good running, like proper running.
Yeah.
So I can wake up on a Sunday and do 19K.
Nice.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think for many, it's so easy to just accept the body the way their body, they change so much, which is magnificent.
I know, yes.
They change.
Yes.
And then you start buying bigger clothes, baggy clothes. Then you become, mimi sasa nimekuwa mama utheri. Now, I just, that's my identity, you know? So sometimes I sit and I'm like, hey, Lillian, sure, what's wrong with you?
Going
you know?
What is happening?
But I think it's easy to just get comfortable.
Yeah.
Because now you feel, I have a new title.
Yes.
And I don't know where we got this culture of once I get a baby, sasa mimi I'm a woman, sasa mimi ni mama, I have to sit vizuri with hips, like I have to be you understand?
Bigger.
Which makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
But how do we get off that, I don't know whether it's a mentality that even if you've gotten babies, kids, you have to go back to your life, the life you had before, and even better. Because even though I'm thinking to myself, I'm back to running, I don't see anything that will slow me down. I'm praying to God to give me good health.
Yes.
So I'm going to get better and better. Now I'm doing more training with weight, which I wasn't doing before. Because I'm raising a boy. This boy is already so strong. I need to be strong. You understand? Exactly. So it's an advantage. My point is, how do we not get comfortable in this mom stage of fasanime? You understand?
Yes,
you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. And that's another place where I have an unpopular opinion. Because, yes, okay, you've had a baby, your body changes. But now you should not become complacent that, I gained weight. It's just the way it is. No. Are you happy with the way you're looking, the way you feel? Because it affects everything. And sometimes I find there's this whole thing of like body shaming. There's a difference between body shaming and like telling someone like, you can do better. You get what I'm saying? Because I feel this body shaming has been taken to another level of now we're accepting like you just being and honestly, let's just be honest. Are you happy? That's why you see some people who are overweight and then they lose weight. And when they were overweight, they were saying, I'm happy as is. But then why did you lose the weight? You get what I'm saying? So let's not just beat around the bush. If you're not happy with the weight you are, there's nothing wrong with working towards getting better. Yes, our bodies change forever as moms, but that doesn't mean it's a license now to just jiachilia, and then you're actually just overeating, eating badly, and then making the excuse that I just had a baby. No, we're not saying snap back. It's bounce back.
Bounce back,
Okay,
yeah.
so we're not saying in month one you should be looking like, no, give
Yeah.
yourself time,
Yes,
but
yes.
also get to the best weight that you can be, because it affects your mental health. When you're not feeling good, your mind will be all over the place. You're heavy, you feel like you can't do anything. So let's prioritize our fitness as well, because this whole thing of body positivity, sometimes it's misleading, because
Sana,
yeah, are you really happy with the way you are? Are you really happy with the way you are? If you are happy, okay, fine. Just make sure that you're eating well and everything. But if you're not happy with your weight, don't now try to make excuses because I had a baby, I'm just like this. Do what you can. As you said, for some people, the weight just starts falling off easily. For some people, you'll have to put that work. And that's what adulting is. You have to put the work. So do those 10,000 steps, the 21 km if you can, but do something. Don't just be there like, I like getting clothes. You are size 8, 10, 12. No, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. So we're not saying go back to your pre-mom body, but be the best version of yourself that you can be. And it affects your mental well-being. So that maneno of body positivity sometimes, we're not saying go to someone's timeline and start writing for them, hey, what's wrong with... No, that's unacceptable. But you, when you look at yourself in the mirror, are you happy with yourself? Are you really happy? When you remove those clothes, are you like, I can't even look... Some people cannot look at themselves in the mirror because, So we're not saying tomorrow you'll be back to size whatever, but put the steps. Be the best that you can. You want to put on your clothes and you feel good. Not sijui putting oversized clothes. Let's do what we can where we can. So that's what I'm for.
Do you exercise? I know you mentioned walking.
Yes. So walking, I do that on a daily basis. But then I also lift weights. I find the weights are really good.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. They do work. They do work. So lifting weights, there was a time I got a knee injury, so I had to stop that for a bit. But thanks. But weightlifting is really good. And then just cardio. It's really, hata kama it's just listen to that music, move. It's important. So me, I'll say 3 to 4 times of exercise, whatever you're doing, 3 to 4 times a week, 30 to 40 minutes. But it depends on you. Because for me, I find after 40 minutes now, I'm just pushing it and I've lost the psyche. Then my posture gets distorted, and that's a whole other thing that can risk injury. So depending on your endurance, for me, it's 40 minutes max. And I just let's get it and go on with it. Some people can go for that 1 hour. So know what kind of a person you are and just be deliberate. The idea is 150 minutes per week. Start small if you have not already done it. Keep at it. Consistency is king. Yeah,
it's everything. Yeah. Considering how our bodies change when we get babies, what do you think about surgery after babies in terms of weight loss and Ozempic? Just as you
Yes. I know that is a whole controversial topic. I'd rather you don't do the surgery, but I don't judge a woman for choosing whichever route she wants. If you want to take that pill, do it, but as much as you can, do the work, because there are people who take those pills and then they are still eating junk. You can't have your cake and eat it.
True.
So keep fit as much as you can. If you really feel you want to take the pill, do consult your doctor, because also surgeries go wrong. We have heard of people who have even died on the surgery table. You don't want to go and leave your kids. So think through it, but do the natural things first. Walk, eat healthy as much as possible, and then the rest now, if you must, do it. I'm not opposed to it.
And they're more permanent anyway.
Yes, exactly. So do what you need to do, but
Claire, are you happy?
I am. I am very happy. I'm happy in the space that I am, raising children, being intentional about everything that I'm doing. Yes, I am.
Very nice. Now, the world is ending. I like to ask everybody this. The world is ending in the next 60 seconds. How do you check out? Wait, this is a very good book. It's a quick read. I propose everybody to buy it. Bounce Back, Babe. Very
Yeah.
good read.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
the world is ending. How do you check out?
I came, I did my best, and I got the best out of life.
Fantastic. It's been very good to have you here. Good conversation, and we'll
Thank
be
you.
seeing you around.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Lillian.
much.
Thank you.